What were you thinking at that time, actually? I want to know what you were thinking.
I wanted to know, if I'm being honest, if there was if there was the possibility of linking up.
Instead of what do you bring to the table, it should be what is your relationship with money. Only two things makes my husband excited. They both start with S. Soccer and sex.
Guys, listen. I like my woman satisfied.
Hey, you want a repeat customer,
want a
right?
repeat
We say we're serving each other. If you want a repeat customer,
You gotta come back. You don't come here and I shower now.
You know, if you want the maximum output, you gotta have the maximum input.
Some
right?
people don't care about maximum output. Hey.
Hello.
Welcome back.
We are back.
Yes. Been a minute.
Yes,
It's been a while. It's so good to be back chatting with you guys and being back in front of the cameras.
Back in the studio.
Yes.
Welcome to Insync Marriage Podcast. If you are new here, you've missed the whole season 1, so go on back and catch up on that. This is our second season, and we took a long hiatus. Not
Long?
intentional.
How many months?
I know we were done by the beginning of summer.
Yeah.
And we said we'll take the summer off
And then come
and
right
come
back in
back
a couple of
in
months.
the fall season. But Lord have mercy, did life decide to life?
Life has been lifing, y'all. So you want to talk a little bit about what's been happening?
If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already have an idea of what happened. I lost my dad right at the end of summer. And so I spent the past few months focusing on a traditional Nigerian funeral,
Right.
which is not an easy feat. My dad was 89 years old, so we celebrated his life.
It was a celebration.
It was a celebration of life.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a lot of family in town. I'm from a big family, and they were all around. And when it was over, everybody went back, and then trying to get back into the rhythm of things.
Just trying to get back into life.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we finally decided we got to get back in the studio.
At some point.
We have to get back in the
So,
studio.
so tonight we dragged ourselves
Literally dragged.
into the studio.
Literally dragged.
And it's so good to be back. So
but
good to be
once the
back
light
with you
came on, the
guys.
cameras turned on, it was like, you know what?
Let's do it.
I do miss doing this.
All right. So what are we chatting about today?
Well, first of all, I always have to acknowledge the fact that there might be people who are watching this for the first time. So my name is
Yes.
Tosin LA, and
And I'm Sami LA.
we've been married for
20 years. My
20
goodness.
years. We're pretty proud of that.
I just feel so old
accomplishment.
saying that.
Yes. You know, I was listening to a I guess someone on Instagram speaking, and this individual was saying married people need to be careful with the kind of advice they're giving. You know, just longevity of marriage does not qualify you to give advice. It's not about quantity, it's about quality.
How do you feel about that?
I actually
Is that-
agree.
it's a
I
true
agree.
statement?
Oh, that is a true statement.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not because you've been married for a long time that qualifies you to tell somebody else how to do marriage. It's about how you've been married, what your marriage has been like. Has it been bliss? Have you had peace?
Yeah.
Have you overcome?
Has it been a partnership?
Yes.
you
Have you
know?
overcome obstacles together
Right.
and survived it in feeling still like you're
Still
a
in love.
team?
Still
Yes.
in love. Still being a
yes.
team. Still being together.
Do you tolerate each other, or do you actually love each other? Do you look
Yeah.
forward to being around each other? Those are the people who qualify to give advice.
I think every single one of us, if we look deep into our lives, we'll probably can point to one or two marriages that we know they've been together 35 years, 40 years. But you look at those marriages and I'm pretty sure you don't want,
No.
if you could pick, you wouldn't want their marriage, right?
Yeah.
And I think that statement is quite factual.
Yeah. So with that being said, one of the things we wanted to do to start season 2, and we had this plan since season 1, because we did celebrate September 2nd was our 20th wedding anniversary, and we went out.
Yay.
we went out of the country, and we had a lovely time, and we played around making content and all these fun things that we were like,
She made content.
And you obliged.
I just obliged. Whatever she wanted to do, I'm here for it.
I don't know. I don't know why he likes acting like he doesn't actually enjoy doing these
I
things.
do not. I do not enjoy the content part.
My heart is broken.
I'm just being honest. I do not enjoy the content part. I just want to live my life. I don't want a camera in my face when I'm trying to eat. But I understand. It's the world we live in.
It's the world we live
It's
in.
the world we live in.
And you know what? We decided when we started this ministry and this podcast that we were going to carry you guys along.
Absolutely.
We're still struggling with the day-to-day, like figuring out how to turn on a camera on simple, mundane things.
Lord have mercy.
Maybe this next season we will. I don't know.
Just yesterday, we had a great conversation.
And I was like, I wish we could take this into the studio.
It'd be nice to record this.
But
that would mean we'll have cameras all over our house.
Like just following
you. I can't now. Sorry. We're not there yet. Maybe in a few years.
Maybe soon. Anyways, so we decided that we were going to start season 2 by telling you guys a few of the things that we have learned.
Yes.
Like for real, in one episode, practically, we're going to interview each other on about 10 things that we can say we can carry into the next 20 years.
Yes. So shall we?
That have brought us this far. Yes.
We ready?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to get you started. All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
So 10 things we've learned, right, in 20 years of marriage.
Yep.
I think that's key. This is going to be a very vulnerable, very real, hopefully
not filtered,
wisdom packed and unfiltered conversation. And I think that's typically what we try to bring to you guys every single episode. So first one I have here, and I'm going to use my notes, says God truly redeems broken beginnings. You want to talk about that, babe?
Yeah,
a
sure.
little synopsis.
You know what? I think if you've been following us, it's no secret that our beginning was a little rough.
A little?
Just a little, a tad. And if you
the
don't
road was
know,
bumpy.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, then go watch season 1 because we went into detail about that.
Yes.
But what we've taken away, one of the lessons we've taken away, lesson 1, is that God does redeem broken beginnings. So that's why that was number 1, because that was the first thing that we learned, that we realized, that made us realize we had to someday come on camera and talk to people about what we've been through, because a lot of people don't talk about that. They make it through and they just get going, or they don't make it through and they just keep going.
Yeah. Nobody
ever comes back to tell the others what happened, how to avoid it, what God did. Where our marriage is a product of grace, and we don't take it for granted at all. Yeah. We value what God has done in our lives. We look at our marriage, we look at each other, and when we check in and we talk, we're like, did you ever think that we would make it this far?
Like how?
Did you ever think that we would still be in love? Did you ever think that I would still desire you and you would still desire me after everything we've been through and after all the years that we have been together? Yeah. It doesn't even feel like it. When we're talking 20 years, I was like, 20 we're now.
And really 20 years of marriage now. And what, 23 years of knowing each other? That's
yeah. No, we've known each other for 25 years.
Wait,
we've been
that long?
Wait, let me get this right. No, I lie.
23. My math is correct.
Your math is correct.
I'm like, what?
Yes.
Don't try me now. Come on, auntie.
I was looking at age. No, you're right.
Yeah.
We've known each other 23 years. We've been married 20 years. Yes.
That's better. Okay, good. But I do agree with what you're saying. I think the grace of God is forever abounding, and has been that has been the case for us in our marriage. In that, if I had planned it, I don't think that we would land
together.
Here.
No, absolutely.
I don't think
not.
that we would have mapped it out so well that this is where we would end up. So it's definitely the grace of God.
And if we had decided to go in our flesh, if we had made every decision, every time we hit a roadblock in the road, if we had made the decision based off of our flesh, like how we were feeling, our emotions, we definitely would have done it wrong. And I don't even think, to be honest, it wasn't like we were very, very intentional in the beginning, like, that we knew what we were doing. And that's why we can say boldly that it's been the grace of God.
Yes.
It's been the grace of God, because we were not like, oh, we read this book and it said to do this, or we spoke to these people and this is what they said to do. No, we just happened to, with each roadblock, make it through, sometimes seeking God's face. And sometimes even in the beginning, when we weren't really that solid with our faith, we just made it through. And now we realize that it was just the grace of God. And that's why we can't keep quiet about it.
No.
No.
It's a testimony.
All right, here's my question about that. How would you say redemption keeps shaping our relationship today?
Whew. I think for me, having God at the center of our marriage has been key. Again, maybe not as intentional as we should have been from the beginning, but the fact that God has always been in the center has really truly helped, because that anchor by itself is what brings us together every time something were to happen that could have drifted us apart, right? So the redemption goes back to Christ, goes back to the alignment that we both have in our faith, right? In that there was true commitment. The moment we said, let's do this, right? There was commitment. And so we always found a way to come back, or I should say, God always found a way to really bring us back to a place of redemption every single time that something could have really, and we had many of those moments
that would have broken us.
That would have broken us.
I think for me, it was more about the fact that when you realize that for you, Jesus died. For you, he gave his life while we were still sinners. We didn't deserve it, but he did it anyways. Then who am I not to show grace to someone else? Who am I to act as though I am holier than thou or better? So again, like you said, babe, having Christ in our marriage, and that reminder constantly of how he sacrifices for us daily. He chooses us daily.
Yeah.
Makes it easier for us to, it sort of like brings you off your high horse.
Exactly.
To where you have to just be like, I guess
I gotta surrender.
I'm gonna forgive you. I love you.
But then the work of healing, though, I don't know if you want to share that. Again, for those who don't know the full story, you can go back to season 1 and catch up. So we're not going to dwell on that today. But with the infidelity story, the healing part or the journey that you had to go through, that led to now multiple years of sound mind, right? Of peace. Because that wasn't there in the beginning.
Oh yeah, I know.
How was that work? How was the or should I say walk, the WALK? What does that look like?
Honestly, I think in the beginning it was not an intentional like me going to God and saying, God help me. In the very beginning I was definitely in my emotions, but I've always been somebody who had goals, plans, like, you know, almost, for lack of a better word, purpose driven, even as a young girl. So I knew what I wanted my future to look like. And it didn't look like starting off with a divorce. Coming from the background that I come from, which is my parents were divorced for my entire childhood, I didn't want my life to mimic my mom's. And I had said many times that I was going to break that curse, that it was going to end with me. So I think I had a resolve in me that was like, I'm going to figure this out.
Determination.
I was determined. Yes. That was number 1. Number 2, again, the biggest work was done by you, not me. I always say that the perpetrator, the person who causes the harm, it's how they show up afterwards that helps the other person heal. And you came at it, honestly, I couldn't ask for a better way. Just real humble with it.
I had no choice.
I mean, you had a choice.
Did I really?
Babe, we were watching a movie yesterday. They cut that chick in the act and she was like, I beg Joe.
That's a movie.
It's your fault.
That's a movie.
I know.
Real life.
No, but real life, there's people who are going to be like, but you caused this. It's your fault. That's why I did this. There's people who say that all the time.
Like not taking ownership.
Yeah, you were not kind to me. You were not this to me. So that's why I stepped out. There's those people.
That's true.
That was not the angle you took. You know, your angle was, I messed up. Yeah. I want you. How do we fix it?
Yeah.
And I will do anything you want or ask because I want you.
It was bigger than that because it was more, I want you, yes. That was no doubt. But it was more brokenness and that I needed the help to get to that, to get to the next place, that I couldn't do it on my own. And I needed something that was above who I was at the moment.
And one of the things I truly love about you, and I will say that, is your willingness to usually just surrender. You have no problem with raising your hands and just be like, I don't know. Help me. And I love that because I feel like that leads us to the next number 2, which is uncomfortable honesty creates real intimacy. That was what we said was our number 2.
Number 2.
And if you think about it, we've always been comfortable with uncomfortable honesty.
Being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
We've always been that way, especially like I don't feel like I'm married to a guy who I cannot tell the truth. And I don't feel like, and I know a lot of people who are like, I'm sorry, you said I should say what to my husband?
What if I told you that didn't come naturally to me?
Okay, speak on it then.
Yeah, because thinking back and in hindsight, it's actually still a thing that I still struggle with. Funny enough. I don't know that you know.
Oh, what?
I saw something yesterday on social media about guys and how you're getting your thoughts, and sometimes it's just things that you go through as a man that is so difficult for you to even articulate, right? Like to even share. And I remember when we first met, I came from a family of 4 boys. We didn't share. We didn't. Nobody was.
I'm trying to imagine you guys having a round table going.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
How do you feel about this? Like nobody's doing. People are getting slapped. You're taking meat off of somebody's plate. That's how we grew up. Yeah. So that was quite difficult for me to get to that point where I'm able to share. And I don't think you actually truly remember, but earlier on, you used to hound me and say that I'm not communicative enough, that I'm not open enough. Oh my God. Yeah, you did that.
I remember that. You're right. And even, you know what, now that you say it, we just had this last week, a conversation where I came to you and I was like, I need you to tell me.
Yes, you just had that this week.
We still had that this week. Yes.
So yeah, it's right. And I share that to say, for those who may look at us and think, oh, these guys are, they figured it out. The truth is, nobody's figured it out. We're still a work in progress. The key is being in a place of surrendering to one another, right?
Yeah.
To where she can come to me, I can go to her, and we can learn from each other every step of the way. And it's okay for you to call me out when there's something that I'm not doing, and I can do the same for you without any judgment. And we can resolve it and be better for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I love.
That was actually the conversation we said we were having, that we were like, oh, I wish we were doing this in the studio.
Yeah, that was that conversation.
I mean, he's had a lot going on with work, and it's just been like a lot. And he will make statements that make it sound like he's told me, but then I realized he hasn't told me anything. But I think I also, last born behavior, I also hound you.
You want to know.
I always want to know. You into talking. Yeah. You used to be a whole lot more quiet, but I think I never really let you be quiet.
Yeah.
Like there's, oh my God. One instance.
I talk now.
Oh my God, yes. One instance is like, I value clarity, and I value like openness, honesty, clarity. I'm big on that. So if something's wrong, I value closure too. If something's wrong,
There has to be closure.
we got to talk
Yeah.
through it so that it doesn't happen again. He's
and
very.
I'm like, can we just move on?
He's okay with moving on, and I'm not. Well, I let some things slide, not with people I desperately care about, and I'm using that very clearly, intentionally. If I desperately care about you, we will have closure. If I feel like life can go on without any issue and it's not a big deal, I will let it slide. So I'm not like with that way with everybody.
That makes sense.
I don't go around seeking closure with everybody. I'm not delusional. But with him, in our first few years, I would be like, babe, I noticed this. Maybe we can work on it. Something you can work on and we could do better. And he'd be like, okay, I'll work on it. And then I'm like waiting. Okay. And me? And he goes, you're perfect. I'm like,
no,
no.
I never said you're perfect.
You practically.
I just didn't have anything. And
if there's nothing that I need to work on, doesn't that mean I'm perfect? And I'm like, I know I'm not perfect. Bro, I know I am not perfect. So you will find something.
You know what I used to think of you?
What do you used to think?
I sincerely used to think that Tosin was always looking. You know those people in your life that they just don't see the bright side of anything. Like when things are just going well, they're looking for something to be wrong.
That's not
so
true.
Anytime she comes to me and she says, okay, maybe you can work on this and that, I said, okay, cool. I'm hoping for constructive
feedback,
criticism and feedback. And then she turns around and I'm supposed to just say something. And I'm like, I'm not just going to say something just so you can feel better. If I don't have anything, you're good. I'm good with what you're bringing.
But you don't say anything all the time. Or you didn't used to.
Because the way my mind is wired, and I keep saying this, and we do this in marriage counseling too. Some of us are not wired to process the negative. It could be a blessing and it could be a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
But truly, deep down inside of me, I am not wired to process what is going wrong or what is not going wrong.
You just like, if it's working, we keep
working,
going.
I'm just gonna keep going.
And do you know when I learned that about you, and it set me free? Because I think it was up until about maybe the 14th year when we took the personality test.
Right.
When we took the personality test, I actually finished that test and I bawled like a baby. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember that.
I cried so hard because for the first time I felt like somebody saw me. Because for the first time, the things that I thought were flaws in my life, because people had worded them as such, were being articulated to me.
What are some of those things?
As positives. For example, me being able to find what if the what ifs in situations. I'm pretty perceptive. That's the word. I apologize. Perceptive. I'm pretty good at catching something long before it happens. What that could be perceived as is being negative. Because a lot of times when somebody comes to me with a theory or a story or a plan, I tend to start breaking it apart and asking you the things that you haven't thought of. Mm-hmm. A lot of times that's like, it may come out as negative.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, it was articulated as, you just always find the negative in things, you know? But the personality test we took actually was trying to rephrase and restructure those things
and find the good in them.
Because they could be bad. The enemy could read them to you as bad, Absolutely. But they could also be good if you understood it ahead of time as a gift that you had. And how to use them in that way. Oh my goodness, I cried like a baby. I cried, but I also learned that was something that I'm constantly looking. What can we do better? What can we do differently?
And that frustrated. That used to frustrate me because I'm like, we're okay. There's nothing we need to be doing. I think
we were okay because I was actually constantly tinkering at
in hindsight,
things.
yes.
In
hindsight, yeah. I mean, if I had married someone like me,
oh my God,
chances of us surviving, it was next to nothing because we would literally watch the whole thing go.
You're both just gonna be like, I guess we just keep going. Let's just
right?
keep
Until we
going.
couldn't go no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
works.
it ended up working out.
Yeah,
Ended up working out. Let's
absolutely.
see.
Absolutely.
Let's see. So yeah, honest communication in our home is something that over time we've gotten really, really comfortable with.
Mm,
Very, very comfortable. I can call him
yeah.
out, he can call me out. In love. And even like just being real plain
And
with
when
things.
we sit in love, I think that it can be problematic, right? Christian homes, Christian families, values matter, right? We know that we should talk to each other in love. But I think that there are situations and circumstances, I mean, not calling each other out in public or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that we're literally gonna have to look at each other in the eye and go off a little bit. I think that that's the part that people don't talk about
Yeah.
enough.
That
Because we
because
say
it's
in love, oh,
love,
you're supposed to
because
say
it's
that.
love, I can't like call you to like I
Yeah,
can't actually be stern about it.
correct.
I'm
Sometimes
supposed to
it's
be
just
like,
going to be,
"Oh, my
it's not going to be fun.
dear, please sit and let me." No, sometimes it is just, "Nah, you messed up.
Yeah.
You messed up, and I need to let you know you messed up." But with that being said, it takes us to number 3.
All
Number
right.
3 is your spouse is not your enemy. The enemy is the enemy.
Oof, you better. I could preach that one from a mountaintop.
So then let me hear you talk about it.
Oh
When are the
man.
times? Can you at least speak on a time when a disagreement felt personal and how we realized or how you realized
Yeah.
that it wasn't?
A number of times. A number of times we've
Think back
had.
to the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. We've had many conversations. I remember the first one that comes to mind is um when we were in college still, and I needed to, well, I was flunking, really. I wasn't doing so well. But I was set on this program that just really wasn't going nowhere. And I remember a very uncomfortable conversation you had with me where we sat down and you were like, what do you really want to do?
Oh, I remember
And,
that.
and
That was
what
hard for
made
you.
that so uncomfortable was the fact that I wasn't in a place where I knew what I really wanted to do.
Wow.
I was in a place of confusion and I lacked direction in that season. I don't know if you
Wow.
remember, I came on one day and I said I wanted to go into the Air Force.
Oh yeah. Oh
Nothing
God.
against the Air Force or military, but
Thank
my
you.
reason of
Was
wanting
not
to
good
go
enough.
to the Air Force was really an escape. I was willing to go to that length just so I could escape
Uh,
what was going on. And just
mm,
because I wasn't doing well in school, I knew I had to do something. And you sat me down and you had a long conversation about what, like, forget what your parents said, forget what your uncle said, what your family members said, or what they wanted for you, or what they planted. Like, what do you want to do? And I'm grateful for that now. I'm grateful for that conversation. And that was quite earlier on too. Like it wasn't even like years in, because that's how I knew.
it
Like,
was like our first year.
yeah, that was like no, I was second year maybe, but it was still quite
It was
early to be
early.
having those
Mm-hmm.
really uncomfortable conversations. But it shaped everything,
Mm.
because not only did I come out of that conversation better,
Mm.
I knew where your heart was, and I was able to identify that, hey, you actually truly genuinely cared, because that was what was communicated to me. Like, listen, we are going to figure this out together. The entire time I thought I was on my own,
Mm.
and it was almost like a battle, like a competition. Like, I needed to do something so that I could show you that I'm a man and I'm
Mm.
doing this, but I just kept getting myself in trouble. But yeah, that's one I can definitely talk about now.
That's
Yeah, there's
good.
been many.
But I guess the other thing that the one time I couldn't identify that we had a disagreement
Mm.
that felt personal, and how we realized that it it wasn't. And I don't know. Well, actually, it was your perspective, but it was a situation. I don't know if you remember.
You have to tell me. I don't know.
Because I'm the one that remembers everything.
When you start talking about it, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember? I don't know what we argued about, but it was in the beginnings.
Okay.
Not in college. We had already like moved into I think we were in our first home,
Okay.
and I remember having to come to your bedside and literally go on my knees and have a conversation with you where I was like, I am not your enemy. And I want the best. Do you remember this?
I remember
want
that.
the best.
I still don't
for
remember
you.
what the
I
conversation
don't know
was
what the
about.
argument was, but it was something to which oh, I remember. You used to always say that I was disrespectful. That I would talk to you that I was talking to you disrespectfully.
Okay.
And for me it was, that's my partner, that's my teammate, that's my buddy. So I would just say whatever, like however, and or I will call you out on your BS,
Right.
or call you on something you did. And to you, I think in the early phase of our marriage, you were still trying to figure out, are you that Yoruba Nigerian husband, or are you going to do this a little different?
Right.
So in the beginning, we used to butt heads all the time on you saying that I was like disrespectful or
right.
emasculating.
No, it wasn't disrespectful was the word I used, but having more wisdom. It wasn't what you said.
It was how.
Everything that you said was always on point. Again, you had that perception that I didn't have. The issue was how you said it and how you presented it.
Me,
and
I'm just like, that's
you
my
just
buddy.
threw words out. And I'm like, who are you talking to?
My partner?
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to break it down in a language that I can understand. Again, to the ladies, please, men, our egos are so fragile. A lot of us are not as strong as we present to be, right? When you've been with someone long enough, you ought to learn and to know how to present certain things to them. Not because you're, walking on eggshells or anything like that, but if the goal truly is partnership and being together for a long time, we need to find better ways to communicate and to land our points.
So how did you realize that it was not personal?
I think time. Again, you just cited a perfect example. I'm pretty sure I walked away from that situation having better understanding.
I feel like after that,
I think that's what you communicated.
Yes. After that instance, and the instance was pretty much, I got tired of trying to explain all the time that, again, I came from a home where we just talked.
Yeah.
We just said it. So, I mean, like.
And I came from a home where they
we
finesse
things.
It.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They finesse things.
We finesse our way through everything. And we hope that you pick up the clues along the way.
Why are we dodging? I mean, can we just address the elephant in the room? So having those two different personalities, it clashed a lot in the beginning. But that day I don't know, I wouldn't lie to you. Actually, in fact, this is not me trying to be extra spiritual. I won't lie. I finally just went to God and I said, I beg, Holy Spirit, help me. Because I don't know how else to let this guy know that I mean well. And that I truly, everything I'm saying is out of love. I wanted him to be the best version of himself. You got to understand, we got married at the same age, to which over time, reality and in all honesty, a 23-year-old girl and a 23-year-old guy are really not the same level of maturity.
Right.
Let's be real about that. So I was doing my best to try to keep us not to bridge the gap to where we don't end up too far apart.
Correct.
Over time, because we're not talking. And so everything I said was usually like taken negatively. And also I'm a pretty type A female. Like
you also had that youthful exuberance at that time.
Oh my God.
And you didn't, for the lack of a better way to put it, you've become more tactful now.
Oh yeah, no, please. I didn't have any of that in the beginning. I would just be like,
that.
I just say it.
You just said stuff, and I just used to look at you like.
But
I
had to come to. We had to have a come to Jesus moment where I literally was like, "Look at me, listen to me, like see me and hear me. I promise you, this is from the best of places." Yeah. I'm going to work on my delivery. I know I need to work on that. But in the meantime, as I work on that, I don't want to have to keep finessing. I don't want to I want to feel safe
You don't
and
want to become
comfortable.
someone
No,
else.
I want to feel
Yeah.
safe and comfortable with my husband enough to just to speak to
Yeah.
him. I don't want to have to censor myself. So can you trust that anything I say is coming from a place of love?
Yeah.
And I love this man. Oh my God. Like,
You do?
I love this man.
I
And
didn't
I want
realize.
him to succeed. I want him to be the best version of himself. And I would never sit back, fold my arm, and say, just because it makes him uncomfortable, because he might be upset, that I'm not going to call out something that will make him better. I don't know if that makes sense. I took the risk, and well, here we are now.
Guess it paid off.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And what's number 4?
All right. Number 4. I'm looking at consistent communication
Is greater
and
than
occasional. I mean, it is greater than occasional deep talks.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
when we realized that having regular check-ins were more important than having like one like deep conversation, usually which will happen after you've had issues.
A blowout or something.
You wait till
Yeah.
like maybe once a quarter to actually settle down and talk, or once a year when you guys are budget planning for the year or something like that. Is the only time you guys really share your dreams, your hopes, and things like that. So all through the year, you're just two strangers. We have very regular check-ins, weekly, daily check-ins, where we're like, where you at? What's going on? How can I serve you? And ever since we started doing that, I really, really think that made a huge difference. At least for me, it made a huge difference.
It's made a tremendous difference because, again, coming from a man's perspective, we carry a lot on our shoulders that we don't share, even with our close friends too. I mean, unless you guys just have amazing friends around you, but male friends, we things must have really gotten like really bad for me to like speak to my male friends about what's going on, because the assumption is that everybody has something going on, right? And so you just don't want to bother anybody. But having a partner that I can share with, that I can talk to about work and things like that. Just this past week, I mean, I actually a couple days actually ago,
we had 2 conversations that eventually
Yeah.
led to a couple days ago. The first
Yeah.
one, I could sense he had a lot going on.
Yeah.
And even though I also had a lot going on, my a lot didn't feel like I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It was a lot, but it didn't feel like I was overwhelmed. But I could sense that Sami was overwhelmed. And so
How did you sense that?
I mean,
I'm
know
curious,
you.
actually.
I know you.
That's not a good enough answer.
Oh my gosh, how do I
People want to know, how do I know when my partner is overwhelmed?
I feel like that will vary depending on the way your partner normally presents themselves.
Correct. So how was I presenting myself in that moment?
There was a
let you know.
change. You had not spoken much about like things that were going on with you. We were talking about things that were going on with us, but you hadn't spoken about things that were going on with you.
Okay.
I felt like you were giving a lot to work. You work from home, so I see it.
Yeah.
A lot to work. And then when it came to us, meaning the family, the kids and I, you were giving bare minimum, which is not you. So I could tell that work had started to take on a lot.
Okay.
And so I remember we had a phone conversation first. I was at work and you were at home.
I was like, well, yeah.
And
yeah.
I called
And
you,
called me. Yeah.
and I told you, I said, talk to me. What is going on? And you were like, I'm just overwhelmed. And I was like, I hear you. I said, give me the details.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something in all of that I can take off your plate. I am overwhelmed. I have a lot going on also, but I'm not overwhelmed. So maybe I can take something off your plate to where it's not overwhelming. And you were like, you can't really help me with this one. It has a lot to do with work. You can help me with that. And I said, try me. Try me. And then you said one thing, and then we started talking through it.
Yeah.
And we were able to come to some kind of somewhat resolution, at least a suggestion that you hadn't tried.
Correct. And I think for us guys, right, when we go through those moments, I'm assuming that a lot of us go through that a lot. what the devil wants to do is get us in a place where we feel alone, right? You're by yourself in this, figure it out, right? I think what is being shared here is the power in just leaning into your partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because truly, I didn't feel the need to share because I didn't think that she could bring any value. Not because I don't
No,
value
no,
you.
it's not my
Yeah,
department.
it's just not your department. Like
It's it's your
I
business.
run a business. You know a lot about the business,
Mm-hmm.
but I had
But it's not my
issues.
specialty.
Right, I had issues with personnel. I had many things going wrong all at the same time, and it was just giving me a headache. Right, and it showed in my attitude. It
Yeah.
showed in the way that I was moving. Enough for you to be able to point it out. And the funny enough, the moment I started talking, right, things started flowing.
I reminded you, I was like, I know that I'm a nurse and I know that I don't do this daily, but do you remember that I ran operations for church for many years?
True.
And so personnel, HR, I still got it. And I have
You
ideas
sure do.
on how to build something.
Yeah.
So we talked through it and I told him, I said, I don't want to overwhelm you, but I feel like you went to bed that night a little lighter.
Yes, it started off rough because I didn't feel like talking.
Mhm.
I think that's the hard part too. Like
I don't ever
when
let
you're just
you.
so overwhelmed, it's like I don't even want to talk.
That's what you
I
were
don't want to
saying.
see a human being. Just leave me alone. Everybody just get away from me. But I'm glad that you didn't do that.
The last born
Yeah,
behavior.
because that's what I thought I needed. But yes, I went to bed lighter and even spilled over into the next day.
And the next day when I was
Yeah.
off, we finally sat and
Yeah.
then we broke it down and I was like, you know what? Like we gotta meet 50-50
Yes.
or 100-100. You know what I'm saying? The 20-80 ain't working.
Yeah, it wasn't working for me for sure.
And so we we realigned and that's the check-ins. In the middle of those little check-ins, you actually are able to avert huge misunderstandings.
Absolutely.
And so, which leads us now to the next one. Our number five. Number five is individual growth fuels marital growth.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Constantly working on yourself,
Mm,
making sure that you're giving your best to yourself
mm.
actually makes the entire team, the
Better.
marriage, the unit
Better.
better.
Yeah.
And just think about it. Like, that's why a lot of I don't know, me as a nurse, we constantly are getting continuing education or continuous education constantly being thrown at us. Stuff we did last year, they bring it back again this year again and have it. Questions are a little bit different, but it's the same exact thing constantly because the more we get better at it, the better the hospital is or the better the care we give is. And that's the same way.
Same thing in a home front.
Continuing
I think
education
the
for
mistake
marriage.
is that one partner is very driven and very goal oriented, and you keep going and keep going. You go get your masters, you get certification, you keep piling it up, and if care is not taken, what ends up happening is one person is advancing, right, and the
other's
other
stuck.
person is feeling stuck, which
Mhm.
creates a gap, right, builds resentment,
Mm.
and for the lack of a better way to put it, this typically tilts towards females, because okay, you're home, you're taking care of the kids, you're making babies now, life starts to life, so much so we look back and you're like, I don't recognize myself anymore, right? Like I've given the last 8 years of my life doing nothing, or at least it feels like we're doing nothing, even though we know how much women are doing when they're even home, just taking care of children, right? But there's a lot of that you see, right? While the guy is advancing, and then guys, we don't help too, because the guy starts to look back and starts to look at his wife and think, well, she's no longer desirable because she's not catching up, forgetting that, hey, all the backseat she was taking was for the family and for the home. So,
and this is why it's important to constantly share your goals with each other. If you're talking regularly and we're sharing goals constantly, you can hold me accountable to my goals, and I can hold you accountable to yours, right? And even if it's in just in a season where I'm not able to because I decide to pause because I need to do something regarding the home front or with the kids, or maybe financially it's not smart for both of us to go to school or both of us to achieve something. And so one of us has to pause.
Yeah.
The fact that you constantly are talking about your goals, and the fact that the other person is constantly reminding you of what your dreams and aspirations and shared goals are, helps to hold you accountable, that when
Yeah.
the season comes for you to do it, you can
You
actually
can
get
actually
it
get
done.
it done. Yeah. And
But if
and one other thing, sorry to
no, you're good.
jump in, babe. Another thing that I think we've kind of done decently on is making sure that once we talk and we share our goals, like, okay, we're going into a new year, 2026, soon here, talking about what you want to do, what you want to achieve, right? Making sure that there's room for the partner to do what they want to do,
Mhm.
and that we're not both going crazy at the same time. So
Mhm.
that, an example, if your partner wants to say go get another degree or whatever, right? That's not the time for me to say I'm gonna go get another degree too, because it's not a competition, guys, right? Somebody has to take a step back,
Something's got to give.
or
Yeah.
hold down
The fort,
the
especially
fort,
if you have
right?
kids,
Exactly.
because going to school while you're working full time is
It's a
not
lot.
an easy fit.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. It's not an easy fit. So someone's got to cover the things that decision is going to now open up
Exactly.
in the home. And
Yeah.
so I think we're pretty good about, okay, are you ready? It's your season now. I'm going to hold down this while you
Exactly.
go for it.
Yeah.
And we just, grateful to God for that opportunity.
Absolutely.
So yeah, practical ways to which you can support each other's growth. I think that's one of
We
it.
actually just shared one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
any other thing you can think of?
I think to be spiritual, not apologizing for it, praying for one another,
Absolutely.
right? I think that's key. If somebody's wanting to pursue something, that the partner holds them, in a place of prayer. I think that is number one. Like, we can't do anything without truly committing it into God's hands. And sometimes, I know I do this a lot, when you're the one that is trying to achieve something, a lot of times you're the one that's slacking in prayer in that season, right? It'd be great if your partner is like, hey, going to war for you in the battlefield, because you might be slacking in that department.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So it takes us now to number 6. Number 6
Okay.
is you must choose your spouse daily.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So what does daily choosing look like, babe?
In every decision, in everything that we do, in every step of the way. I know for me, I have to constantly remind myself that no matter what I'm doing, this is the woman I've chosen to do life with. And so, even in the mundane things, like, I wake up in the morning, if I'm making myself a cup of coffee, and this is not to brag, but I'm conditioned to make toast and a cup of coffee, right? Because it's almost like I feel like drinking coffee, she's going to want to drink coffee too. I don't want to hold a cup and you don't have anything in your hands, right? And as cheesy as that sounds, it's a reminder, I hope, to you that I'm thinking about you.
Oh no, I love it.
Right?
I love it. You better never stop.
Right.
You have spoiled me. I almost do not know how to use our coffee machine anymore. I mean, I know how, but like when I'm doing it now, I feel like, why am I doing this? Where's my cup from my
But you
husband?
do the same in many ways, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a perfect example. And I actually suck at this. There's never been a time where Tosin goes out to eat with her friends. So somebody's birthday, just hang out with friends, that you actually don't bring back a meal for me. And I know it's weird, even though I don't ask. It's like, I'm not really hungry, but I can almost guarantee that when she goes out to go eat, to go meet up with somebody for a quick chat, and they grab anything to eat, especially when it's something she's never tried before, especially when it's something new, our default is, I have to take this home for my husband.
Absolutely. I just, again, I know that I really hope that this is how other people feel that are married. And if not, I don't know if it's an advice that needs to be put out there, but it works for me, right?
It goes a long way.
I sincerely feel like I know that we are one, and I truly feel that way, like we are one. And so I don't. It's like when we watch a movie. I don't want you to watch a movie that I haven't seen. I want us to see it together.
That part is annoying.
I know.
Super
I'm
annoying.
not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. I don't want
I
us to
will
watch.
literally pause it and wait. And Toast, she's a shift worker. So she might, when she's working, she might work 3 days in a row or 4 days in a row. I have to pause and wait for that amount of time, because if I go back and I click,
I mean, especially if it's good. Now, if it's not a good movie, you can watch it. I don't care. But if it's a good movie, I feel like at some point you're going to reference it. You're going to say, "Oh my God, I saw this movie, blah blah blah," and then I now feel like, wait, how you see it and I didn't see it. And that's the same way it is with the food. I'm a foodie. I love good food and I love eating out, right? And I know you love good food.
right?
If I try something and it's amazing and you've never had it before, my immediate thought process is, I gotta take it to somebody, because how am I gonna go home and go and tell him, "Oh my God, I tried this lobster. It was so good," and that's the conversation.
I mean, it could be.
I'd be like, no. I'd be like, okay, where is it?
That's what you would say.
That's why I behave
Right?
that
That's
way.
why
because,
you be exactly,
because that's the way I think.
that's your default is okay, where's the so-called good
That's what I
food?
can't stand. He used to travel for work a lot, and he'll travel. And one of the things he'll do when he travels is try out new foods, like
I'm in a new city. That's
different,
the only thing to do.
especially when he goes international. And then he will call me from there and be like, "Man, I just ate the best pasta ever. Look at look at this oxtail. Oh my God!" And he'll be showing
that's
me,
not how I sound, by the
bruh.
way.
And I'm like, if you're not packing that thing and bringing it, don't tell me
I
about
can't
it.
possibly pack it and,
Then don't
and
tell
put it
me
on a
about
plane.
it. So it all goes to, I sincerely really feel like if I'm trying something, you should try something. If I'm experiencing something, you should experience it.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about it, it's a little bit more lived.
It
And
becomes
more
a shared
real.
experience.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
So
I get it.
that's my story.
And I love that
behind
about you, by the way. I brought it up because I love it about you.
Yay.
Initially, I used to look at you like, oh my goodness. But I get it now. And I'm at that point now where when I go out to eat now too, even when I'm hanging out with my friends,
Yeah.
all of us are kind of the same in that way. We're all like,
Ordering yours and
extra
ordering your
meal
wife's.
for the wifeys.
And if he can't, he'll call
and
me.
if I can't, I'm texting. I'm like,
or
listen,
text me and be like,
I can't bring food
I
home
can't bring
today.
food today. The group doesn't
Yeah.
look like one where I could order something on the side, or we had to rush out of there and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ah. If he goes
'Cause
out,
I know
to
you're
eat,
home waiting, and you'll probably haven't eaten.
Absolutely.
You not because there's no food at home.
no, I want
Because you're waiting to. Yes, I'm like, please, auntie, go and eat because I'm not bringing nothing home tonight. That's funny.
So let me ask you this: was there a time when you felt a shift from feeling love to practicing love?
Oof.
Can you remember? Was there a time in our marriage where you felt like, I love this girl, and it was more about how you felt towards me, to when it became, I love this girl, but it's how you showed it, practicing love, like how you said now, making the coffee for me and all of that stuff.
Right.
That's your way of saying I love you, I
Correct.
see you,
Correct.
I choose you, right? Was there a time when you made that shift?
I think a little piece of that was always there.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually, yeah, I think that was always there. Now, was it practiced all the time? Probably not. I would say for me, after about 10 years into it, and I know that sounds crazy.
No, but I remember that time.
I know that sounds wild. Like for 10 years, he didn't. Again, for the first 10 years, he was great. He was great. We were doing life together. But there's a shift that happened after year 10. We had a pretty big blowout. Year 10.
It wasn't even a fight.
It wasn't. Yeah.
It was not a fight. It was a come to Jesus.
Yes, that's what it was. It wasn't.
It was
blowout. It
a
come to Jesus.
realization for me. And
Yes.
I recently counseled someone who is currently in the season of thinking about divorce.
Okay.
And it was a quick counsel because we were like, it wasn't something that we had to sit. But I said something to her, and I'll give you an example because this was exactly this season they're talking about. They've been back and forth. I want a divorce. Okay, I'm so sorry. Can we try again? And then fall off again. I want a
Right.
divorce. I'm so sorry. I'll do different. Can we try again? They've been back and forth, and she was tired.
Okay.
Usually it's her who's initiating the I'm done,
Okay.
because there doesn't seem to be improvement or change
Okay.
with him. He'll, in this season, when she asks for a divorce, make a quick change, then fall back into his
Old
habits. And one of the things she said to me was, he asked her to give him a second chance, or a last chance, but in this season, can she please help him with things that he's doing wrong? Meaning, help him, teach him what he needs to do to, I guess, show up for her. And her response to me was, I don't want to have to teach him. I don't want to have to help him. I need him to, because it takes away from him doing it himself. Like,
why do women say that?
No, that's not a why do women say that, babe.
I've heard that many times.
That is a why do people. It's not always women.
You think so?
Yes, but more than anything, women, because I think it has a lot to do with the man being the
right. Women, and I have a theory.
Yeah.
My theory is that most women, and it's, again, there's nothing wrong with the thought process. Most women want their man to be the leader.
Absolutely.
To step up, to be the thinker, the visionary, to think without her having to point him in the right direction.
Absolutely.
But when we find ourselves in these scenarios that you're saying, because I know we've been there before, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Why is it that a woman is not willing to help him walk that path?
You term it that way now. You say help him, which
Right.
now makes it sound. It makes it sound more palatable. It sounds more biblical. It sounds like the helpmate.
Isn't that what it is?
Wait now. But in the beginning, when it's being said in reality in that season, it doesn't always come up
like that.
Help him.
Okay.
What it brings to a woman's mind, if I could speak for women, because again, we've been there before, and we're going to reference, and we're going to go into that. But what it brought to her mind, which is what it brought to my mind in that season in the beginning, before I had a shift of mind, was I'm supposed to submit to him.
Okay.
What am I submitting to?
Mm.
Do you understand? Because there's always that you should submit as a woman, submit to your man. To what? To a guy who's asking me to tell him where to go or what to do. It's not, that doesn't look like submission.
But it also sounds to me, again, this is a larger conversation we probably should have.
This is a big one.
This sounds to me like we are picking and choosing and turning the Bible into a vending machine. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Women would also say that I want this man not only to just lead me in this way, but I'm his partner. I'm his neck. The head cannot do anything without the neck. So if the head can't do nothing without the neck needs to be a neck and help turn the head where the head needs to go.
So
sometimes.
I feel like you're the one picking and choosing. I feel like the guys are the ones picking and choosing.
No, I'm saying there are viewers who are watching this who are thinking exactly what I'm thinking right now.
Absolutely. But there are also viewers who are watching this, women who are saying that, oh, do you really want me to be the neck? Do you really?
When I'm asking you to be the neck and me,
wait.
Then I want you to be the neck. What you want to do is just be the neck.
Yes, the neck should be the neck. Period. The neck shouldn't have to only be the neck when the head decides that it doesn't want to work.
I agree with that. I'm with that. What I'm saying though is, I get you that it could be frustrating. I completely acknowledge that when we as men,
when men are feeling weak, is when they want you to all of a sudden
when we're supposed to be leaders and we don't do what we're supposed to do. I get it. It has to be. I mean, I'm not a woman, but I can understand how frustrating that can be. The flip side I'm saying is, if we truly are in a partnership,
now you're going
and
where I want to go.
We are together in this.
Okay.
And I'm failing in this area. What I would want for my partner is not for you to abandon me in that season and say, what am I following?
Mm-hmm.
But rather, hey, I can see your pitfalls
Mm-hmm.
and I can show you the areas where I would like for you to be better,
Mm-hmm.
and then give me time to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's a different case if obviously, I don't get better,
Mm-hmm.
but at least help me get better is what I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
But okay, I agree with you. And
Okay.
that is my school of thought
Okay.
now. But I had to empathize with her and even with younger me,
Makes sense.
because I also had a man in that season who wanted to be the leader
Mm.
and wanted me to submit. And that's the same thing. And then all of a sudden, in this one area, when it now has to do with you constantly failing and me saying, I'm done, now all of a sudden you want me to be the leader. So it's a foreign concept to women. So I can
get
see
it.
how a
I
woman
get
will
it.
push back the first time that comes up.
Mm.
The more you become meshed together and you grow together, you realize that it shouldn't be a foreign concept.
Yeah.
When he comes to your rescue when you are failing, it's just part of the
Yeah.
deal.
And it
And
goes
when
it
you
goes back to
come
what
to
we
his rescue when he's failing, it's part of the deal.
Yes.
It's just the process.
It's a process.
Period.
It goes back to what
Period.
we're talking about you not being the enemy, right?
Mhm.
The enemy is
Absolutely.
the enemy and is against both of us.
Absolutely.
And so
The
we
enemy
just
is the
have to
enemy.
just hold each other up in these seasons of weakness.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
So
love it.
yeah, we almost started a
That
whole
was a long
different,
one there.
But it is important to choose your spouse daily.
1000%.
Needless to say, just to close out that, because I did counsel with her. What I was trying to say was I counseled with her and I told her our story of how in that season I had to hold you accountable.
Correct.
But there was very clear guidelines and very clear boundaries and very, very clear, we were very clear communication in the
Yeah.
beginning before we started that next season.
Yes.
What it was going to
It was
look
very
like.
intentional.
Very intentional.
There's some things that I was like, I am taking this from here on.
Yep.
And this and this and this is what I'm going to do moving forward. And if you see me dropping the ball in these areas, I'm giving you full permission to let me know that, hey, you're dropping the ball here. That way, you don't resent me. And you don't get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm done again.
And
No.
you don't get angry
And I
that
don't
I'm
get-
calling you out on
Exactly.
something because you've given me permission.
Yes.
And I remember in that season, I would say things like, remember you asked me to call you out if I noticed that you're slacking
That's
on
the
this area.
speaking in love right there.
And I am noticing that you are slacking in this area.
Yeah.
And I'm beginning to get irritated about it. And I don't want to get resentment. So wanted you to know. And you would thank me and immediately adjust.
Yeah.
And you did that a few times until it became second
Muscle
nature.
memory. Absolutely.
To where I no longer had to remind you. And that's
Yeah.
what I told her. I
Yeah.
said, but before you guys go into this, you have to be very clear what the guidelines are.
1,000%.
You have to be, if these are the things that he has always seemed to fail on, and they are, no brainer, like it's a deal breaker for you.
Mm.
He gotta get this right. If it doesn't get it right, you can't stay.
Mm.
You're done. You have to be clear. You have to say, can you commit to
XYZ.
XYZ
Right.
before we go into this season? And if he can't, then maybe you do need to consider separation or whatever.
I hope not.
I hope not. No, because they've been down this road so many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the same thing over and over and over and over each time, to which I can only imagine.
Yeah.
But maybe you've never done it this way before.
Correct.
So try this way. Clear communication, and then be willing to help him.
Yeah.
It's only going to be for a short season.
Yeah. And you're going to reap the fruit of it eventually.
Unless he's just really stubborn and just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Come on now. You know what I'm saying? So that was that about that, right? So
that was that about that.
Mm-hmm. What's
That's
number
good.
7, baby?
Number 7 says forgiveness is a lifestyle, not an event.
Yep.
Who best to speak about forgiveness being a lifestyle?
We both can speak about
I think
forgiveness.
we both can speak about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Forgiveness should always be a thing that you just constantly do. I don't know about you. Forgiveness for me is about me.
Mm.
I always say I don't have energy to let anybody cause me to go to hell.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes longer than others before I can actually like bring myself to.
Sometimes?
Sometimes it takes longer.
You mean every time?
That's not true.
Yes, every time.
That's not true. At the beginning of our marriage, I forgave you pretty quickly.
Mm,
I forgave you pretty quickly.
you have this thing. So let me just say this. When you do something to me
Mm-hmm.
and I express it
Mm-hmm.
and you apologize, I'm moving on.
That's your personality.
When I do something to you
Mm-hmm.
and I apologize, you need like 2, 3, 4 days to gather
That's
yourself.
not
It doesn't make
true.
any sense.
It doesn't take days. It doesn't
A couple of days?
It doesn't take days. You're lying.
How long
He's
does
lying.
it take? How long does it take?
I don't know. Maybe the next day. It can't be that day though. You
It
gotta
doesn't take
give
days.
me.
It takes the next
No,
day.
you said
Okay.
2, 3, 4 days. No.
Hey.
I have had a situation where I was upset about something where I didn't have closure, and it wasn't with you, with someone else. And it was important to me that because it had been years of hurt over and over and over. And I never had the opportunity to express myself to this person or people to let them know that they were hurting me. And so when my cup was full and I couldn't take it any longer, I cut them off because I had to protect myself. Now, did it eat me up inside? It sure did. It did. And my husband would agree. You because you're trying to make it seem like forgiveness is hard for me. It's not. The situation.
No, you've gotten way.
The deal
better.
breaker, or the stroke that broke the camel's back was like December. By January, I told you I was like, I'm ready to reconcile, but it had to be under certain, in a safe environment where I felt like I could finally tell these people what they had been doing to me so that it could stop.
Gotcha.
Because I didn't see them as people who, if I opened up and just kept going, they wouldn't continue again to hurt me.
That makes sense. And I wasn't even talking about that
I
particular
know,
one.
But
I
when
was
it
talking in
comes
general.
to us,
Yeah.
maybe let me sleep on it. Yeah,
True.
yeah, I forgive you.
Yeah, you typically need to sleep on it.
I forgive you, but your definition of forgiveness is that my attitude has to immediately switch.
Yeah, like why can't we do that? Like
That's just not my personality.
Like you said, you've forgiven me. Can we kiss
My
after?
husband, that's what he wanted. That's what I wanted to say. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
I'll say it for you.
His definition
I'll say it for
of
you.
I've forgiven you is when I say, "Oh yeah, I'm forgiving you," then we should immediately like start kissing.
Yeah, let's make up.
Let's make up and make out. And I'm just like, bruh, give me a second to breathe.
Your second is all night long. That's a long second. That's like 12 hours.
I need to sleep on it.
I don't get it.
I don't know. Am I the only one? I feel like maybe there's a lot of other women like me. I think it's a female thing because my body.
Oh, now you're speaking for women.
No, I'm not speaking for. I can never speak for all women.
Okay.
If you're like me, just let me know.
Aha. Let's be careful.
But I do feel like it is pretty common where my body just needs to calm down a little because when I get upset.
But where is your body? Why is your body so hot?
I'm hot. You're not. I mean, look at this specimen. What do you mean by why is my body so hot?
Wow, that's where we're gonna go with this. Okay, good. You're hot indeed. Yes, yes, we know that.
I say?
Anyway,
No. I'm gonna stay in the spirit. Stay in the spirit.
Yes,
Stay in the spirit.
yes, stay in the spirit.
With that being
it.
said, you know what? Tools for rebuilding trust after hurt.
Yeah.
Unforgiveness usually shows up quietly. It shows up as sarcasm, coldness, avoidance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And definitely resentment.
Yeah. And that's why it's important for us to open up, talk about things as quickly as we can.
Absolutely.
Right? Obviously, again, I'm going to bring prayer into this. Approaching this prayerfully, because again, there's things, there's layers to offense, right? So we can't just give a blanket solution or answer to anything, but taking it to God, right? That God softens your heart to the person or towards the person, and being able to speak about it immediately is key.
Yeah.
And then walking towards reconciliation and resolution. Because
yeah.
Again, as married people, we will offend each other.
As human beings, we
As
would offend each
yeah,
other.
yeah. We sometimes somebody just breathing around me is like it's offensive.
Why are you breathing
You
so
know, like,
loud?
why are you breathing so loud?
People get offended that their partner snores.
Hey, you
So
don't
they
know how
wake up
bad it is
upset in the morning already.
because they didn't let him sleep.
Anyways, with that being said, we go to number 8. Number 8 says, fun and play are holy too. And as you can tell,
Oh,
we are very, very comfortable laughing and
I
playing.
like the fun and play part.
Yeah. And sometimes that actually helps you heal. And
Yes.
it's not a sometimes, it does. Laughter is the best medicine, right?
Yes.
Helps you heal, helps you get over humps to which you can actually get to forgive somebody
Absolutely.
easier, right?
And bringing the family into it, bringing the whole family into it. There are many nights we'll have where, I may just not be feeling myself, but sometimes, your child walks in and
Our kids can be the
ones,
goofiest.
yeah, they're the ones that just open the door into laughter.
The way they show love is, I guess maybe it's a teenage thing. I don't know. Or maybe it's just our kids. But my kids are not, well, we got 2 kids. One of them is lovey-dovey, like likes hugs and doesn't mind being touched and all of that. The other one hates hugs, does not want you to touch her.
Yeah.
She stiffens when you come near her. However, her way of showing love
is being around you.
Is being touchy around you, but don't touch her.
Yep.
But she'll touch you.
She has to do it.
Yeah.
In our home
So sometimes she'll just come and maybe like stick a wet finger in her dad's ear or something silly like that.
Very annoying.
Or just pull on his beard. And I always have to remind him that that's just her showing you.
Oh,
love.
I know now.
Now he
I
knows.
just let her do whatever.
She just does the weirdest things.
She'll come around and just tap my head, and I'm like, if I did that to my father.
So I mean, sometimes
response.
I sincerely want to bring out my phone and just record because I'm just like, this is my life. It's so fun. Like they laugh. It's funny. They're chasing each other around the house and all of that. And laughter truly is.
It really does.
The best medicine. And it is holy in marriage.
Absolutely.
Remembering that you guys are friends, right?
Yes.
We're friends first. I don't care what nobody says.
We're friends first. And if we weren't friends first, we should be working towards actually building a friendship even within the marriage.
Yeah.
Actually learning each other and knowing what makes the other person tick, and actually, trying to get those things and make those things happen.
It helps you relax. Inside jokes, date night, traveling together, just things that allow you to just be buddies.
Yeah.
I honestly, I got a best friend that's a girl, yeah. But when all else fails, this is my best friend. Like Sami is my best friend. Like that's my buddy. That's my person. We got like silly things that we say to each other that I can't say on camera.
You alright.
You're not so bad yourself. That we say to each other. I'm not so bad myself. You're not so bad
yourself.
You'll be okay. You've chosen this one. All right, number 9, baby. What is number 9?
The 9 says intimacy must be protected, not assumed.
Yes, you cannot assume.
You can't assume it.
That we're intimate. And intimate, of course, if you watch season 1, you know that intimacy
we spoke a lot about that.
We spoke about different kinds of intimacy.
Yes.
And it's not about physical touch or whatever. Intimacy is just feeling safe, and being able to be seen,
be vulnerable around each other,
completely seen by your partner. So you can't assume that your partner sees you or that you see your partner. You have to actually be very intentional about it. You got to protect it. You got to do it intentionally, right?
Absolutely.
Communicating your needs. Like in the beginning, as we said, I would do a lot of, so this is where I think you can improve.
Recaps.
I mean, I love that you do this right here. Oh, yeah. I remember in the beginning, I think I must have learned something from either a book or premarital or something where they said, you first come with
No, it was at work. It was at work.
Uh-huh. You come with 2 positive things the person has done.
And then you hit the hammer.
And then you hit them with the...
And she thought I didn't know what was going on. So every time she stepped up, she's like, "Oh, babe, I like when you do this. And I like when you do..." I'm like, okay, it's coming. The butt is coming.
And in the beginning, it was, it was behavior I was practicing on purpose
Right.
to help me and help our marriage get better. But over time, it's become something I'm just comfortable. I don't even have to do the I like when you, but it's just now we can just talk to each
Right.
other.
Because
I can
you've had
express.
history of being safe. And
Yeah,
same
feeling
thing
safe.
here, feeling
Yeah.
safe
Yeah.
to where you don't have to dress things
No,
anymore. You
no.
can
And we
just, yeah.
definitely,
And that in itself is intimacy.
I love that. I love that
Yeah.
about my marriage, you guys. And I want to encourage every couple out there to work towards that,
Yeah.
where you don't feel like you have to censor yourself,
Yeah.
where you don't feel like you have to adjust to talk to your husband. You have to, finesse it, make it palatable and clean before you can present it to your husband, but to just be able to express your needs, like I love it when you do this and I would love it if you did that. And what do you think about us trying this, and stuff like that? That's it. Stephanie. And and I laugh because I was telling him the other day that, I feel like his greatest power in our marriage is he's got veto power. He's the president, he vetoes. And if he vetoes it, I'm okay with that. I know that if he vetoes it, it's what needs to be done. So the only time you will see me package stuff is if I desperately, really, 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 really want something. And I want to make sure that he doesn't veto. And now, does he veto? Yes. And I still represent again. Yes. Last born behavior.
And go wrap it up in
I will
another
wrap it
another bubble
and bring it back.
and represent.
My love language is booking flights and
Wow. You really say this out loud?
booking trips and catching flights. That's my love language. So whenever it's anything in that area and he vetoes it, just know that it is coming back again in another shape or form.
I don't mind it coming back.
You don't.
As long as we're not doing it at the timeline that you want to do it, that could put us in a bad place.
Okay. I want to quickly say that these three things are things that we identified that attack intimacy: offense, exhaustion, and comparison. Offense, when you allow things fester that your partner has done wrong, and you don't discuss it, you don't close it, you don't move on from it. Number one, attack on intimacy. Number two,
says exhaustion. That's actually a big one.
Oh, that's a big one.
I think for me that might be
That's
might even be
yours.
stronger.
That is
than
yours
anything
right
else,
there. That's
because-
why you resonate.
Yeah, because
with
I
that.
can't
Function
present
when-
myself and be
yeah.
the best that I can when I'm exhausted and mentally not in a good place.
I could tell
for me
you
to be, the
one of the
best
reasons
husband.
we couldn't come back with the podcast while I was planning my dad's funeral was I could tell you right now I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And not only could I not face a camera to speak, my husband was feeling it 100% at home. I was disconnected. My children felt it. I mean, it wasn't what I wanted, but it was what was expressed to me later.
And it was how you dealt with grief.
I've
You
never
lost your father.
I've never
that's-
experienced anything like that before in my life. So I couldn't have prepared myself for
Exactly.
how I was going to show up in that season. Whew, that was hard.
It was hard.
And I promise you, the day we buried my dad, the next day, I woke up feeling like the world had been taken off my shoulder.
Like a heavy load was lifted.
Ooh, it was
Yeah.
different. I felt different. That's when I realized that I actually was dealing with something. I didn't realize it. My family did a great job. My husband and my kids. I know my husband was having regular check-ins with the kids, and they would have brunch, and he'll take them out without me and sit with them and talk to them and see how they were feeling and checking in with them to make sure they didn't feel like, neglected or anything like that. And I know they were talking, and he was preparing them, to be able to deal with not just my frame of mind, but also what was coming in the season where we were going to have a lot of guests and a lot of family members. But to look back now, I didn't realize how much it was weighing on me. So I say that to say, if I didn't have a partner who was aware of the power of being intentional with our intimacy, I can see how that could have really, really caused a huge divide in our marriage and in our home. So yes, exhaustion.
Yeah.
Just working yourself till you're tired is a huge deterrent to intimacy. And then last but not least is comparison.
Oof. That's just it's so difficult not to compare, especially when you're going through a tough time in your marriage and you're seeing other people, at least what seems on the
Like they're
surface to
flourishing.
look like they're flourishing and they're doing well. And I always say this, for people who watch us,
Mhm.
the goal here is not to present ourselves as though we have it all figured out. That's
Nope.
by no means the
Niet.
goal. But
No.
rather to share some of the things that has helped us,
Yeah.
and hopefully others can try those things, and we pray that really transforms your marriages as well. But yeah, really, comparison will steal your joy.
Yep.
The little joy that you're supposed to have, you're supposed to bask in, it would take it away because you're too busy focusing on other people's marriage. Oh, why can't you do this? Or why can't you be like so and so? So and so doesn't talk to a husband like that. Listen, your marriage is different. Take what you have and try to make it the best it can be.
Build
for
on it.
you.
Yeah.
Build that. Don't worry about what someone else's marriage looks like.
I'm telling you, don't. Do not. There was a season in my marriage where I used to wish that my husband cooked because I am a baby girl at heart, deep down inside. And I really would prefer to be served food than for me to serve food.
Wow.
That's the truth. You know that. That is not news to you.
When the fact that you're saying this out loud is funny. I know they're laughing at you.
Please, I know I'm not the only one. When we first got married, I didn't know how to cook. He knew that. And that's I remember this guy will take me out to eat, never asked me to cook nothing because he knew I didn't know how to cook. I sincerely did not know how to cook. But you
thought that was going to last forever?
I really thought that I had hit the jackpot.
What world do you live in?
People don't marry people because they can't cook. Like, there's people who are like, you can't cook, I'm not going to marry you. So I thought if you were choosing to marry me, knowing I didn't know how to cook, that meant that you didn't really care for
I wouldn't say that I married you because of cooking or food. But food is an essential part of
we were gonna eat out
existence.
But we were eating out when we were dating.
And so you were gonna eat out for the rest of our lives?
Yeah, we would allocate a budget for eating out. Instead of doing groceries, we'll just eat out. What was wrong with that?
Exactly what you said. It's all wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that. He woke up one morning after we got married and was talking about you want to learn how to make amala. I'm like, no, I don't. No, not at all. And then he starts to like little by little ask for things and then when we got,
I would make them, right?
Some of them he make,
and then you watch me make them.
But that don't mean I want to learn it. I didn't want to learn it, and then finally it started to become like there's nothing to eat, and we're looking at each other.
Yeah, I figured at some point we're gonna keep looking at each other, and we're gonna starve, and somebody gonna get in the kitchen and figure it out.
This was prior to Uber Eats and all those things. When Uber Eats came, I think there was 1 month I ran up like a crazy Uber Eat bill, and he finally is like, "Baby girl, this is ridiculous."
Yeah, no,
so
we don't want to do that.
You know what? All in the name of trying to be a sensible person, I started to watch YouTube videos and I learned how to cook.
And now you're a mean chef.
That's the problem.
That's good at it.
See, that's my problem. I don't know how to do something halfway. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to be like the best at it. So I go ahead and now I'm cooking like so well that now he thinks he's got like a chef.
Guys,
hearing him, he thinks he's got a chef.
There is hope for you.
There's no hope
if she can't cook today.
There's no hope.
Tomorrow, she might be a chef.
Don't go. You see, that's that comparison thing we're talking about. I started saying that because I wanted to say that. I would look at like my friends who were married to guys who cooked, and I'd be like, golly, I wish. But the only thing I was attracted to was that they could cook. I'm not attracted to nothing else. So I'm just like, I still love my husband. I just wish he would be the one that could cook. And eventually I would tell him that and he'd be like, not happening.
Good luck.
I just feel like it's not fair that guys get the luxury to be able to decide whether or not they can cook or
But I
can't
get in
cook
the
or want
kitchen
to
every
cook
now and then.
every now and then. But
Yeah.
I wish I could say I get in the kitchen every now and then.
Hey,
The excuse they use is, but you're so good at it, Tosin.
you are.
Lies from the pit of hell. With that being said, we're gonna go to number 10. Sadly so, because I still wish he could cook.
We'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
No. Yep. Anyways, don't compare. Do not compare. Do not compare. Do not compare.
Please don't.
Make the best of what you do have. Find what's beautiful. Pick on each other's strengths and make your own marriage. There's no perfect marriage out there or one textbook that says this is how it should be.
Yeah.
Just go with what works for you guys and make something beautiful out of it, you know? Well, number 10 is
Number 10. Marriage
favorite one.
thrives in community. We're gonna have to expand on this later in the
absolutely.
season.
We have so many amazing things planned out for you
Yeah.
guys in season 2, by the way. So many amazing things. I wish you guys could see the studio because now
Do
we
we want to
have
talk about number 10 first before we tell them what's
let's talk
coming?
about number 10. Let's talk about number 10. We'll talk about
Yeah.
number 10.
So
number 10.
marriage thrives in community, not in isolation. Please, guys. We have to find ways to do life with other people. And I know that it's difficult sometimes finding friends of like minds and doing life with other people. But life in itself is exhausting and it is hard. And we are all working so hard. We have to find ways to do it in a community of like-minded people, by the way, not just community just for community's sake.
Yeah.
But community of people who are heading in the same direction that you're heading in, people who have been through the journey that you're walking, so they can kind of guide you through it, right?
And there's three kinds of people that we're talking about when we say community. We're talking about you need to have a spiritual covering. You need to have somebody that you look up to that is
Correct.
spiritually sound, that got your back, and you know, can keep you, can advise you, can speak into your situation when things are off. Preferably, sometimes they could be older than you. Sometimes they don't have to be. They're just your spiritual covering, or you know, over you. And then you need to have your peers, your
Right.
people that you know are your day to
That's who
day.
you
You
do
do
life
life
with. That's who
together.
you travel
You're
with.
like mind.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
spend time around,
kids
because let me
play
tell you,
dates.
man, who you surround yourself with or who you are surrounded by defines you.
Yes.
You can only dream as far as you can see.
Mm.
I tell my kids that all the time. If you surround yourself by people who are not dreamers, who have no plan for their
ambition.
life or
Yeah.
ambition or nothing, you are going to be stagnant in life.
Yeah.
Same thing with marriage. You're going to stay right where you are if all you're surrounded by is either just yourselves or people who have no plan to move forward or do better.
It's there was a story I heard about a couple who didn't see that there was anything great in marriage because all of their friends and people who were around him were all struggling in their marriages. They looked at marriage, and from the lens that they looked at it from was there's no hope. We're all going to end up in divorce anyways. Because when you look around you and you took a census, everyone around was just struggling. But imagine if there was one couple that you saw that was actually doing it right. It gives hope.
Intentionally. Yeah.
It gives hope. Like, you know what? If
They don't
they're
have
doing
two
it,
heads now.
Yeah, we can maybe get there someday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Absolutely.
ahead with the community
Absolutely.
conversation.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Like, isolating yourselves definitely always leads to a negative outcome.
Yeah.
We were not
Well,
made to be
there was
alone.
one piece that you missed.
Oh, the
I
third
wanted
part.
you to get the
Yeah.
fourth piece. Yeah.
Looking up. And when you look up, you need a spiritual covering. You also need a mentor.
Mhm.
And your spiritual covering could be your mentor.
Right.
And your mentor could be virtual. They don't have to be in physical, like in person or whatever, but somebody that you look up to, that you're learning from, right? Then your peer.
Peers.
And
Mhm.
then always important that you're pouring into somebody,
Yeah.
that you have mentees or someone that
Why is that important?
I feel like they hold you accountable.
Absolutely. That's the word I was looking
They
for.
hold you accountable
Yeah.
in a way that your peers and those that are above you can't.
Cannot. Yeah. Because when you're pouring into someone and you're telling people what to do and they're coming to you and looking up to you,
It's hard for you
It's hard
not
for
to
you
practice
to
what
not
you preach.
do it. You gotta put into work what you're telling
They
other
got to
people
be
to
able to
do.
see it. You
Yeah.
can't just keep telling them, "Oh, don't fight with your wife," but then you and your wife are always fighting. Be
You
patient
become a
with him,
hypocrite.
but you're never patient with yours.
Mm,
And I don't know about you, but hypocrisy is something that makes me extremely uncomfortable. Like if I feel like I'm saying something that I don't do, my skin sort of crawls. I don't know if that's the way you are. Then the fact that you're saying something to somebody, but you, in the moment that you are to practice, you're practicing something else, your skin should crawl.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like having mentees or little younger ones that you pour into. Younger doesn't necessarily have to mean age. It could be just in the stage where they are in life.
Yeah.
That you're pouring into. So I'm gonna recap real quick all 10.
Okay.
Number 1 was God truly redeems broken beginnings.
Yep. Number two, uncomfortable honesty creates real intimacy.
Number 3, your spouse is not your enemy. The enemy is the enemy.
And number 4, consistent communication and
It's
having
greater than occasional
deep talks.
Yes. And individual growth. Number 5, individual growth fuels marital growth.
Ooh, and number 6, you must choose your spouse daily.
Number 7, forgiveness is a lifestyle, not an event.
Number 8, fun and playfulness are holy too.
Number 9, intimacy must be protected, not assumed.
And last but not the least, number 10,
marriage thrives in community, not isolation. And with that being said, this season, you guys are going to get to meet our community.
You're in for a treat.
That is what we have for you guys this season.
You're about to meet our crazy friends, the cuckoo friends, the not so...
the cool ones.
Don't worry, no.
Our mentors,
all our friends are great.
Our peers,
yes.
Our mentees.
Yes.
We're bringing them all
onto the show.
Onto the show for you guys, because we want to have open, honest communication and let you see in real life, uncensored, what that looks like.
Absolutely.
We're so excited about all the
Yes.
things we have planned.
Yes.
So we want y'all to look out for that. And
well, with that,
oh, one more thing. Hold on.
There's one more?
Hold on. Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah, we gotta close it.
I was ready to close.
No. I want you to, real quick, this is rapid fire. Reflect on who you were in year 1 versus year 20.
Year 1, I was a loose cannon who didn't know what he wanted out of life, who wasn't submitted to Christ and his leading. Year 20, I think I'm a full-grown man who has been through life's experiences, who has seen ups and downs. Life flies a way of teaching us, and letting us sit our behind down. So I think I'm a little bit wiser now.
Nice.
Yep.
Year 1 for me, I was very, very cantankerous, spicy. I was excitable, but I was also unsure. I always say this. I married Summy because Summy was sure that he wanted to marry me. And I said, you know what? If this guy is so sure that he wants to marry me, what could go wrong?
So you weren't sure.
I knew how I felt about you. Emotion wise, right? I knew how I felt about you. What I didn't know was what that translated into for marriage. Did I think that, I don't know that I was mature enough to understand what it looked like in practice, in theory.
This is what we mean when we say this is really truly by the grace of God.
Absolutely.
All right, rapid fire number 2.
No, what about me in year 20?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. So now where you at?
I'm a lot calmer, I think.
Still spicy?
I'm in a good way now.
Like cayenne pepper?
No,
Not like
it used
Cameroon
to
pepper.
be Cameroon pepper and cayenne pepper, but now it is Cajun seasoning.
Oh, it's Cajun seasoning don't got no spice in it.
Got a little black pepper in there.
Okay, I guess. I guess.
Yeah, at year 20, I definitely know who I am. I
That is true.
didn't know who I was in year 1, and he just led me wherever. Year 20, I know who I am. I am confident in God's will and calling upon my life.
Mm.
I know absolutely how I feel about my husband emotionally and in practice and in theory. And I'm just excited for the next 20 years.
Love it. So talking about being excited for the next 20 years, the next question, and you're going to answer this first.
Ooh.
What you are believing God for the next 20 years?
I'm believing God to finish what he has started in our lives, to perfect all the things that are in the works. In the next 20 years, I just want, obviously the kids would have been gone, past college at that point, if we're talking about, through college all the way to hopefully they're married and gone at that point. And it's just enjoying redoing our life before the kids, but this time the version of us now.
Ooh, that'll be exciting.
I'm so excited about that.
I like
prospect.
I like that.
What about you?
For me, it's really learning. I'm excited for. How do I say it? I'm learning in this season to fully surrender, what it means to fully surrender to God. Because my personality, I'm always scheming, I'm always planning my next move, what I'm doing. I'm getting to the point where God is trying to teach me to fully surrender. So I'm curious to see
What the fruits of that?
what the fruits of truly and fully surrendering will look like 20 years from now.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, we just want to encourage you guys to take some time to reflect on your own lessons, whether you've been married for 6 months, 1 year, 10 years, 40 years,
20, 40, 50, 60.
60 years.
Hopefully we have people listening that have been married for 70 years.
Take a moment. It is. Take a moment and reflect on the lessons that you have learned over that amount of time.
Yeah.
And if you could, we would love to hear it. So put it in the comment section.
If there's anything we're missing also, again, we don't know it all.
This is just
if there's
top
anything
10
we're
for us.
missing, please engage with us on YouTube, engage with us on Instagram. Put them all in there. Let everybody learn some of the things that you've been learning as well.
Yeah. We initially wanted to do 20. Then Sammy was like,
imagine if we did 20. We'll be here for 5 hours.
I don't know how long it's been or how long we've been on here, but I've enjoyed talking.
I've enjoyed it too. It's actually been a wonderful time.
We're excited to see what the rest of the season's going to bring to you guys. And we want y'all to stay tuned. Follow us, Insync Marriage, on all platforms, literally all platforms, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, Insync Marriage. And then, as always,
on
if you want
podcasts too. I mean,
Spotify,
iTunes,
Apple, everything. So, like we said, season 2 is about to be a blast, and we're excited to bring it to you. We love you guys. Until next time, bye-bye.
We'll see you later.